I want to ask you about the governor of Michigan. Okay. Everybody knows who watches this, almost everybody. She went to the White House a few weeks ago, got lured into the Oval Office to a horrible photo op, held a folder in front of her face. So today, the president's in her state. And the reason she went to the White House was to talk to him about this base, Selfridge base. He went there earlier today, his first stop in Michigan, and announced that the base was going to be saved and new jets are going to be there. And then he brought Governor Whitmer up on stage. So I want you to watch this and tell me what you think of how she's handling this. Number 9 and then number 10 back to back, please.
I have come in person to lay to rest any doubts about Selfridge's future and the vital role it'll play in our national defense. As Commander-in-Chief, I'm proud to announce that very soon we will replace the retiring A-10 Warthogs with 21 brand new F-15EX Eagle II fighter jets, the best in the world, fresh off the line. Brand new.
Well, I hadn't planned to speak, but I'm on behalf of all the military men and women who serve our country and serve so honorably on behalf of the state of Michigan. I am really damn happy we're here to celebrate this recapitalization at Selfridge. It's crucial for the Michigan economy. It's crucial for the men and women here, for our homeland security and our future. So thank you. I'm so grateful that this announcement was made today, and I appreciate all the work. Thank you.
All right. So that's what I think we call a little bit of finesse. You never thank the president explicitly. But Naomi, what did you think of the situation and how she handled it?
I mean, I think that Donald Trump is sort of setting her up in a sense. Like, he could have gone anywhere. He could have gone to any base. I'm sure that this announcement was planned, but nothing in politics is accidental. He needs Michigan, or the future of the Republican Party needs Michigan, and she needs Michigan if she wants to have a presidential. I mean, she's going to win Michigan if she were to run for president, I assume, but who's to say? I mean, there's so many years, there's so much time between now and then. But the optics aren't great. I mean, she still has to get through a presidential primary, as does Gavin Newsom. And I think that some Democrats are taking advice, maybe from some consultants who have some theories about how to win over some conservatives again, or younger men, or I don't know. But I think that these kinds of things have reverberating effects. I mean, if we thought in the 80s it was bad when Michael Dukakis wore a helmet and got on a tank, and if we thought that era of imagery was bad, this is the kind of stuff that I do think will stick.
But she has to go to the event, right? If the president's coming, she has to go to the event. And so when he ushers her to the mic, I mean, what can she do? She sort of got to do it, right?
Yes, and that used to be a normal thing, right?
Yeah.
It's just different with Trump.
Right. But I mean, let me ask you a more pointed way, and then I want Kristen to explain why the White House is doing this, because the president's not running for re-election. How does the Bernie Sanders wing of the Democratic Party look at that? Do they look at that and say, how dare she consort with Donald Trump?
I think I'm not speaking on behalf of everybody.
But just broadly, like, would Democrats look at that as a problem?
There could have been a pointed response, like she can stand by her base in her community. And the Bernie Sanders part of the party is very anti-military expansion.
Yeah.
There would be that criticism, but put that aside for now. Let's just talk about the optics of being, a Democrat who's pushing back against Trump. I think she could do, especially after that photo op, she could have pushed back a little bit more aggressively. I understand she's in a difficult position given the fact that she has to work with the president on funding and all sorts of other things. It's not an easy position to be in. And you're seeing that in New York right now with Governor Hochul on some issues too. She's holding back on Penn Station and leaning in on some things, but she needs to step up and really show that she's a fighter. And I haven't been following Michigan polling and where things are lining up with her right now. But my sense is, she's worried about losing a piece of Michigan and him gaining his popularity back, and how that is out for Democrats in the long term.
Yeah. Kristen, if he were running for reelection, or if she were seen by the Republicans as this extraordinarily strong candidate who they wanted to undermine, I could see that. But neither of those things are true. So what's in it for them to continue to try to embarrass her and kind of make her choose between being impolite to the president or not alienating the base?
Well, before I say that, I think I don't know who her staff is, but this has just been terrible staff work on their part, not knowing, you're going to get your picture taken in the Oval Office, not knowing you're going to get called up on stage. I mean, this is like advanced or, body guy 101. I mean, figure that out. And that's what she needs to get really fast. But I think, it's not even about Gretchen or, the governor herself. It's not about, she's just kind of I would say a prop right now. What it exposes is this divide in the Democrat Party. So we just spent, 10 minutes talking about declining Republican polls. Now, I don't think that Republican staffers should be out there talking about polls. Like, let it go do your job. But the bigger problem here, the reason why Republican, people that do what I do aren't really, too nervous yet or, putting too much stock in this, is because the Democrat Party is a mess and they are totally divided. And the fact that, every time someone like Governor Whitmer is brought up next to Trump, then that spurs at least an entire hour or two of a show where we're talking about, well, what does the Bernie Sanders wing of the party say? It has nothing to do with her specifically or targeting her specifically. It is just an opportunity to highlight the fact that the Democrat Party got their butts kicked in November, and they still, to right now, I know Bernie's doing a bunch of rallies and AOC is running for president and they're all trying to figure it out, but they still don't know who they are and they still have to figure it out. And they're running out of time to do it because these midterms are going to take off here in a month or two. And right now, I can't tell you where the Democrat Party has found its way, whether it's reconnected with working voters, whether they're fighting Donald Trump or whether they're finding a way to work with him. And I don't think they know either. So to me, this is just an opportunity every single time to needle Democrats to say, you're running out of time. You can't figure it out. You better get into a room and decide who you guys are.
Hey, want to be part of the two-way community all the time? Hit the subscribe button. Great video clips like this, plus conversations like no other, full episodes and more, always available on this channel. You got to hit subscribe to never miss a thing.